Hey, let me tell you 4 mistakes that I made in my first year of business as an environmental consultant. And of course, today you're up there, I am down here, you're the boss, and it's just that my desk is very busy. I cannot be able to place you somewhere here, but I want to give you four main mistakes that I felt like I did in my first year of business. This is my 4th year in the field of environmental consultancy. The first 2 years, I was working my ass in an environmental office trying to learn everything that I had to learn. And after 2 years of learning everything and taking up everything that I needed, I came out here. Now I have been doing it on my own for this. This is the 2nd year of my business as a full-time environmental consultant. And so I have done some mistakes. I have taken a few roads that I was not supposed to take, and that is what, of course, I want to share with you. The first one that I'm going to share with you is that I almost quit. I almost quit. Almost every day of the entire year, I always felt like I wanted to quit. Like I was not fit for this job. Like I was not an expert enough. Like I do not know enough. Like I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I felt like I wanted to quit almost every other day of my life. And that is a mistake that I almost did. Because starting out as an environmental consultant, there's a lot of work that is needed. It's just like any other business. Starting out a business is not easy. And especially in this case, when you're selling a service, it's not like you're selling a product. Like you can go out and then you're like, hey, I'm selling this dress. Can you try it on? Can you do like the color? This is a service. You're selling value to somebody. You're selling the promise. You're selling an intangible product. So it is kind of tricky, especially when you're starting out. And then, of course, I did not have people to hold my hand. I did not find that one person who could tell me, do this, do that. Like that one person who was just above me or just ahead of me, who could tell me or show me a roadmap of how to start out. So everything was done from scratch. Like I had to learn everything, to register a company, to look for lead experts, to look for clients. All these things I had to learn myself. So that job was not easy, and I almost quit. I almost quit. But of course, the first few moments of a business are going to be hard, but it gets easier with time. You learn and connect dots every other day of your business. So please, if you're starting out, please start out if you're not yet started. If you're starting out, do not quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. As you continue, it gets better and easier. Mistake number 2 that I did was taking advice from the wrong people. I took advice from people who had no right to advise me, or people I had no business listening to. These are people who have never done an environmental consultancy job, people who have never sold services, people who are selling products, people who are employed by the government, most probably. So I took advice from the wrong people. It's just like I'm a mother, so when you get pregnant, people are going to tell you so many things. You should take this, you should do this, you should do this. And everybody, that is their opinion. They could be right or they could be wrong, but that is their own opinion. I think you need now to sit and think and figure out what exactly you want in this life. So the second mistake that I made was listening to advice from people who had no business, whom I had no business listening to. People who have not been in this path, people who have not walked down this road, so they know nothing exactly about how to do this. And especially experts. It is very true. You could take advice from experts, from other consultants, but the question is, have they gone through the life that you want to go through? Are they where you wish to be in the next 10 years? Have they gone through this path? Like what I mean is you find somebody has never dealt with a startup. Maybe they just got themselves employed in a place and they are good to go. They're employed in a farm. These are the people you're supposed to be listening to. Remember, for me, I was starting from scratch. I was starting from zero. Registering, learning how to register and get licenses by myself. Learning how to register companies by myself. Looking for consultants, lead experts by myself. Getting clients by myself. Everything was done by myself. So I did not look for advice. I did not look for somebody to advise me, somebody who had gone through the journey that I'm going through. So as you're starting out, or if you're planning to start out, I think you need to really, really look out whom do you want to get advice from. Mistake number 3 that I did was not knowing how to ask for help. Remember, I was a startup. I was an infant. I was totally new in this business world. I'm an expert. I have the experience. I know how to do the audits. I know how to do the assessments, but I don't know how to run a business. I have never, ever in my life started a business and ran it through to grow it as a company. I know nothing about taxes. I know nothing about bookkeeping. I know nothing about sales. I know nothing about customer service. I know nothing about setting up a business, starting a company. I know nothing about operating a company, especially a private company. Now that in the first 2 years of my life, I worked for the government of Kenya, which is totally different how the systems run. The protocols are totally different from how you can run your own company where you are fully in charge. So I think I did not learn how to ask for help. So most of the things, I wasted a lot of time trying to do them myself, things that I could have asked for help. And most of the things, sometimes it's like when you get out of employment, like I was at employment, if you check, most people who are employed, the employee, in most companies or in most offices or in most, wherever you're working, if you're an employee, in most cases, very few company leaders will ask for opinions of their employees. Like if they want to do something new, in most cases, they're not going to ask the employees what they think or what should be done. In most cases, they are going to make decisions and then bring them down to the employees. So you're going to find that employees only do what they are told. They're not in a position to make decisions or even give opinions. Now, I was that person who was always being told, do this, do that, this should be done when, this should be done this time, this should be done at this time, this is how you should do this. Now, from that position where I have learned, or I was in a position where everybody is telling me what to do, the bosses are telling me what to do, the bosses are telling me this should be done, and they're not telling you exactly why this should be done. There are reasons that you don't get access to why such things are being done. Now you get to out here, you have your company, your own company that you're supposed to build and grow. You're the person who's supposed to make decisions, but in your lifetime of working, you are used to getting decisions being made and you're just doing what you've been told. In this case, you're the one to make the decisions. You don't have somebody out there to tell you what to do. So being in that position where you ask, you don't have to ask permission is tough. It's tough. But of course it's in the mind. These are things that you learn. These are beliefs and limitings that you can be able to get over. Asking for permission, always seeking for permission, always seeking for the second opinion of somebody else you think could be right. So that is something that I struggled with, and that is a mistake because I did not ask for help. I did not really learn how to ask for help when such things happened, and I did not give myself permission to make such decision because in this case I was in charge. Point number 4, and the final one and the biggest, is that I did not learn how to sell. If you're planning to start a business outside here, if you do not know how to sell, go back to employment. If you do not know how to sell, go home. Outside here in these streets, if you don't know how to sell, you're doomed. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not the person who's going to tell you, you just go try. No, if you don't know how to sell, you're done, even before you start. So I think what I did not learn very well is that I did not learn how to sell. I had done I had a lot of knowledge, but I had not done it like where I have to convince somebody, to influence somebody why I am the best, but I didn't know how to articulate my value. I didn't know how to sell myself to somebody. I know what they want. I had handled clients. I had given advice to clients. I had done services to clients, but I did not. But those were clients whom the selling part had already been done for me. So myself was just going in and doing the job. Now, when you are absolutely on zero position and now you have to get this person to know you, to convince them, to tell them why they need to buy from you and not your competitor, my friend, getting to know your value, selling your value, articulating your value to your client. Those are the things that I did not do. These are mistakes that I did in my first year of business. And so, if you're starting out or you're just started, or even you're already in this field, get yourself into the sales classes. Know how to sell. Learn how to sell. If you look globally, the richest people that we have here, probably 95% of them are good sales people. The richest people are almost always very good at sales. So I think if there's something that you need to learn is selling. Selling. And also, this is not a problem that I have myself alone. I have done a lot of research and spoken to so many experts who are in this field. And one of the problems they have is to sell. What are you selling? How do you sell? And so, this is something that I'm saying this is the first place that I'm talking about this. I have a YouTube channel. I have a Facebook group that I've created called Sell That Service. Facebook group called Sell That Service. I'm going to link it down in the description box. So if you're a consultant or if you're planning out to be a consultant, or you are selling services, not product. You're not selling hair, you're not selling clothes, you're not selling these glasses, you're just selling services. Environmental consultant, maybe you are an auditor, maybe you're an engineer, maybe you're an architect, you're selling your skills, you're selling your expertise. That group is for you. In that group, we shall be learning and doing all things sales. We shall be learning how to sell our services, how to position ourselves in the market so we can be able to articulate our value. Do you even know the value you're selling? So that group is for you. Go and make sure to join that group. It's a private group where we shall only be talking. That is only limited to people who are selling services. And that is what we shall just be talking about, selling that service. So the group is called Selling That Service. Make sure to join that group so that we can learn how to sell. Because this is a problem. You deny it or you agree. I know this. Selling a service is hard. It's tough. And of course, I'm there to help you. The few things that I've learned, I'm still learning. I can never finish learning. What I learn, I share with you. And then we test out and see what works and what does not work. And so we grow as a group other than trying everything on yourself. Like I told you, one of the mistakes that I did is that I did not ask for help. And when I asked for help from the wrong people. So I think that is enough convincing. That is enough to make you join that Facebook group called Sell That Service Facebook group. Till next time, bye-bye. And I hope you don't make these mistakes that I made.